Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to New Forest Morphs. It's been snowing in the forest, and my wife took a picture of the snow falling in the forest in our back garden. I'm going to show you this. Isn't that beautiful? It very rarely snows because we're only a couple of miles from the beach, but you can see the facility is there, and you can see the snow dropping down. So that's lovely. And Jared, we also had a snow scene on the way in, which I'll show you how pretty it was. So I suppose it's all lovely. But there we go. I'll show you that. Scenes that we're getting here. It's really pretty. Quite cold. Hopefully the snakes are well insulated in there. We should go and find out. So you can see a snow scene outside the facility. And of course, when we came in this morning, Jared, the temperatures were still dropping again, so we've got the heater again up, so we're notching up every day, and I think we've got it about right now because it feels good. It's 75. We try and keep it around about 75 if we can. It did drop down to about 71, 72 at one point, and we thought, nah, it needs to come back up. So the other thing we learned last night when I came back to check the locks was that the new system that we're running here with the airflow system and the extractor fans, Jared, we were trying to work out why the powerful fans were kicking in last night, drawing in lots of air, because I came in to check the locks and I thought that shouldn't be happening because we've got a temperature setting on an upward and low temperature setting, and you can adjust the pace of the fans depending on the temps, and we thought we don't want the fans kicking in when the temps start dropping below 70, is it 79, Jared? And so we decided to just let that trickle at 3, whatever the temps, rather than kick in. But then if the fan heat, if the heat goes up above 80, to help cool down the ambient temperature, the fans up their level from 3 to 10, and that gives you a injection of cooler air coming in to keep the ambient temperature correct. One thing we forgot is that this is also subject to humidity levels, and the humidity levels dropped yesterday, Jared, didn't they, below 30%. So I was scratching my head thinking, we've adjusted the temperatures correctly, why are my fans kicking in? Because they shouldn't be kicking in, because it was just cooling down the facility. So it turns out that the humidity lower end was set at 30 and it was dropping below 30, and therefore to get the humidity up, the fans kicked in to suck in more humid air into the facility. So we've realised that that wasn't necessarily the way to go. Jared's overridden that now. So we've got a nice trickle of about 3 on the pace of the fans, which is just giving that nice fresh air and nice, and it's not actually making the heater work over time, so it saves on heat. So it's getting that fine balance, Jared, and I think we've sorted it now. So there was a second set of parameters that we've overlooked, and I'm so glad they came in to check, otherwise we could have come in really cold, Jared, because those fans would have kicked in. Now, to get the humidity up, we've actually sprayed down some of the cocoa husk to get the humidity up. We've increased and replaced a lot of the fresh water bowls, and we also got some good news last night when I came in. I got a lock from our Batman project. So I think out of the 10 pairings now, Jared, we've got 7 out of the 10 have locked. So there's a picture of Hercules to I think it was Tess, and she's our vanilla spot nose het clown girl, and we're hoping to produce some beautiful vanilla Batmans, which will also have inchy, and hopefully is what we're aiming for, and possibly lesser.
And
now,
pastel.
Jared, pastel, you came in as well, Jared, and you took some pictures of 2 further locks, because also last night I put a couple of animals together. We had some really good news from our shed test results came through, Jared, and let me just see if I can show you a copy of those. And I think I sent you the copy of the report, if I remember, Jared. And that was really nice. So these are the results that we had through from Danny, and he does Shed Testing UK is the name of his business, and I'll just show you his logo. And he charges £60 per shed test, so that was £120, and we got 1 positive and 1 negative, and these are the results. So Archie, who is our hypo potential het pied boy, is now 100% het pied, and there's the result there, Jared. So I don't know if you can see that. So if I show you the
turn it sideways, you might
turn it
see it
sideways, there we go. And then if I go like that, you can see the results a lot better. So that's the report you get by email, and he shows you the ID of the animal, and we found out that Archie is het for pied, which really surprised us.
Yeah.
Because last year he gave us a clutch with no pieds, so we were almost ready to think that he wasn't carrying pied gene. But I knew he was carrying pied because I had the tracks on him and all the markers, so I think that was a very valuable test to do, and as a result I put him straight into Moneypenny. And Jared, they were locking this morning.
Yep.
And have you got a picture of their lock at all?
I couldn't get a good picture of the lock, but I've got a picture of them together.
Okay. Well, I went in this morning to have a look at them, Jared, and they were definitely locked.
Yeah.
It's a hidden lock, so that's really good news. And also there was one other lock that you've got, Jared. Was it the Banana Boy, OD Banana Boy Apollo?
Yep.
And he went to Pringle. So that gives us 7 out of 10 locks. And I think if we have a look at the locking chart up there, Jared, you'll see what we've got going on here. So that's some really good, and I think there's 3 or 4 new boys that are locking for the first time, so we're really pleased, and they're only just over a year old, and I think it's nice to see them locking, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah.
Really pleased. So we've got a shed test list, and we've put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shed tests, as you can see there. 2 have come back. Now I've asked Danny if he can send me a list of all of the sheds that he can do.
Yeah, I've actually got that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, he sent it through. So can you just let me know what he can do, Jared? Because I think I sent Gav some sheds earlier in the season. Now if you're wondering what that noise is, Skip is desperate to come out and breed. He's our pastel het gravel or gravel het clown boy. He's seeing all the breeding going on. He's just shed out and he wants to come out. I mean, what I'll do, Jared, is I'll just see whether he can poke his head out. He's either smelling the food, because we've got to feed the babies today, and see whether he'll come out. And he'll probably come out all guns blazing.
He's moving his hide against
okay.
the box, that's why that squeak is.
Oh, I was wondering what was going on, but he's in extra exercise mode at the moment, and I think he wants to lock, is the reality, Jared. But if you see him in the back there. So we'll leave the tub open, we'll just keep half an eye on it, because he's definitely rearranging his furniture. He's very particular with his furniture. He used to have a small hide and I put a big hide in there. Since I put the big hide in there, he's not as comfortable and he's moving things around a little bit. But,
so with the sheds,
yeah.
Vipo Exantics £60 per shed, Ultramel £60, Pied £60, Yellow Belly £60, Lavender's £50 and Hypo £60. And he said you get £10 per shed discount when a batch of 5+ is sent.
Okay, well that's good. So really we should have sent him the whole 5 really, but I think, does he do clown or not?
No.
No, he's not doing the clown, but at least he's doing the Ultramel, so that would be useful. We sent Gav 2 het Ultramels, I think Kelly and Mel, so I'll send Gav a message, see whether he can send those over for testing, and I think it'd be worth knowing whether we've got Kelly and Mel. In fact, if you have a look at Kelly, she just shut out, Jared.
Maybe we should take his hide out.
He just doesn't want his hide, does he?
No.
I'll take it out. You know what he's done? He's pushed the hide. Look what he's done. Look. He's not happy, is he? He's tipped his water bottle over. He's flooded all his coconuts. And I think he's just desperate. You can see he's just shut out. But he's really, really got in there. And we'll let him just settle down for now. But I think once we've got the other visual gravel boy clowns confirmed, I think Skip may be available for anyone that wants a highly charged breedable boy, because he'll breed with everything. But we'll find out. Now what we'll do is maybe we'll give Gav a call, see if we can get the het Ultramel girls, Kelly and Mel, over to Danny, because he can test for those 2. And I think the other ones we had for testing are the tests for gravel, which we want to do on Monty, and tests for clowns, and tests for TSK Exantics. So
you can do VPI but not TSK.
Okay, so I think that's the shed test list. So presumably at least we've got 2 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What was it? 7 potential sheds that we wanted to shed test. But it meant that we could put Archie into the breeding rotation, and that means, Jared, with Money Penny and Archie, if they do produce a clutch, the odds will improve 1 out of 4 because he's carrying the visual Hypo, and she's a double het pastel. He's got fire, so he could get firefly hypopides, which would be what we're after.
So we just got really unlucky in our last clutch.
We did, to get no pides, and that just goes to show these shed tests are helpful because it can actually confirm what you've got, even if the first clutch didn't show that. But also, I was keen to, I was pretty certain he had pied, Jared, because if you look at his markings, he had the tracks on the bottom and all the other things. Now if you have a look at the Ebony, which we brought out yesterday, she unfortunately is not het for pied, so we've got to decide whether we're going to breed with her at all. But she is a very beautiful girl. So I have to put some thought into her, Jared. It might be that if we want fire, pastel and hypo going into another double recessive genetic, it might be worth putting someone like Humidity and actually producing triple heads that have got hypo into the clown pied plus the other codoms might be a good move.
Yeah.
So just because they're not carrying the pied doesn't mean to say they're not breedable. It just means that you've got to be very careful what you breed to them, so that their offspring are going to further our projects. But she's effectively a big hypo girl that will guarantee hypo into the 3-way genetics. So there is a place for her, Jared. It just means you have to reformulate your plans before you decide what you do. Now the other thing, Jared, is we've got a couple more that we've just paired. The Dream School girl, she's shed out. Do you want to have a quick look at those 2, Jared? See how they're doing? Just put them together. Okay, so it's a repeat pairing from last year. We're going to shoot for some more blackhead lavenders that are het for pied, and it makes sense to produce some more of those because I think quite a few people wanted to buy into the project, and we only got 2.1 or 1.2, 1 boy and 2 girls, which we're keeping for breeding. But I think next season, if we do produce some more, we'll make them available for our friends. And she's a lovely looking girl, as you can see. She has shed out. I think she hasn't shed out perfectly this time, Jared. There was a little bit of stuck shed on her. Yeah. But we just need to remember that in this dry weather, the humidity will be dropping, so you've got to then remember to spray down their bedding, not saturate it, but spray it down. And if anyone has spilt their water bottles over that cocoa husk, it's probably wise to kind of extract some of the soaking cocoa husk out of the facility and actually replace it with some fresh cocoa husk, because I think if it's oversaturated it can lead to problems in terms of bacterial growth. So I think keep an eye on any snakes that might be jumping into their water bowls, flooding their water bowls, spreading everything over the place. Within a few days you can easily get some build-up of bacteria which will be not good for them. So it's important to get that balance right, but also with the drier, colder weather, the humidity levels do tend to drop down, and we've found them dropping down from 55–60% down to below 30 yesterday. So it just goes to show that, you know, we are reliant on what Mother Nature is providing as well as what's in the facility. So it's important to keep an eye on that and to get your humidity levels to the best you can, particularly in the breeding season. But I think the sudden drop in temperature has activated everything. 7 out of 10 locks we're very pleased with, Jared. And we're going to be feeding our babies today, so we're not planning to show any baby candy because they're all going to be getting ready for the feeding. And you've got someone coming to pick up a snake today, Jared. And we thank this young man who's coming over, I think he's local, picking up one of our clown boys, which we think could be the blade clown. And he does look very nice and chunky, and so that's all good as well. So we're moving forward with the business side. Is there anything else, Jared, you wanted to bring in at all? I think that just about covers us for today. Hope everyone's kept safe. Be careful on the roads because it is icy out there. And thanks for your love and support, and we shall see you next week. Bye bye for now.